Sophie's not having any of this. No? Are you done? Yeah, that's what I thought. Hello and welcome back. So this marks our second weekend of the Sea Breeze Summer Beach Read series. I think that's what I'm calling it. I don't know. Regardless, what this is the weekend series that I have for Abbi Glines' Sea Breeze series, which is an awesome beach read. Like, totally awesome. So this review is specifically for While It Lasts. Now this is the third book in the Sea Breeze series, hence why of course it's being reviewed third. Makes sense, right? Yeah. And once again in this book, as all of Abbi Glines' books, we see secondary characters from previous books coming and being the primary character in this one. Specifically, we are dealing with Cage in this book. This guy right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. So he was Lo's best friend and Marcus's roommate from Because of Lo, which was the second book. So you see how that's working? Yeah. So let's do the breakdown for what's going on with this book. Cage is your typical frat boyish, although I don't think he's actually in a frat, a college student. He plays on the baseball team. Apparently he's pretty decent, but he got into a bit of trouble. He got a DUI, and instead of getting kicked off the baseball team and thus ruining his entire potential for a career later in life in baseball, his coach has taken pity on him and sent him to work on a farm with one of the coach's old friends for the entire summer in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Now, if you have read the second book, you'll remember that Cage is quite the ladies' man. And a summer in the sticks means potentially no female poontang to be had. Now enters Eva. Eva is the only daughter of Cage's coach's friend. Oh yeah. And of course, this means that they are going to be forced together all summer. Regardless. Now, before you go and think this is going to be some sort of insta-love thing, no. You see, our girl Eva has some deep emotional issues because it turns out her fiance was just killed in action overseas. Like, the girl is dealing with a lot of heartbreak, and the last thing she needs is a ladies' man coming in with his jiggly thing. So we see the characters dealing with a lot of emotional baggage in this book, which is something that Abbi Glines is fantastic at writing. Like, the girl knows how to write the drama, and in the good way, because I could not stop reading. No, like, seriously, I read it in the span of 24 hours. It was that good. So throughout the book, one of the main things that we're really dealing with is the grief that Eva hasn't really come to terms with, and she's kind of trying, but it's really hard. I mean, like, she still wears her engagement ring, and she won't drive her vehicle because her fiance was the one that got it for her, and there's so many memories attached to it. Like, there's a lot of not just your fluff going on in this book. There's fluff, I'm not gonna lie, like, there's tons of fluff, it's awesome, but there's a very deeper root to this storyline as well. And personally, that's what really made me love the book. Okay, I am going to admit, about halfway through, you're kind of just wanting to go and slap Eva and Cage a little bit, both, and just be like, listen, you two, you need to smarten up. Like, just relax. Let it flow, let it happen naturally, it's all organic, and stop trying so hard, and just let yourself experience the good in life. So as in-depth as the story gets, especially with your emotional vibes, it also has the awesomeness of the romance. I mean, let's face it, it is a romance book. There are going to be romance bits, including the sexy times, because what is a book without the sexy times? I really do love the fact, though, that despite the fact that you know there are going to be sexy times, it really works up to it. It's not just like, bam, I'm gonna just like, right here within the first couple pages. No. Like, I'm pretty sure it's well over halfway through the book before anything major even happens. There's just this incredible chemistry that's building up between Cage and Eva, and you know it's gonna eventually just explode, but you're kept in the anticipation of wondering when. You get a couple new settings with this book as well, which I thought was really nice. It just makes so that the storylines over the entire arc of the series don't really get stale. You're not with the same people all the time, in the same settings, and the same thing, and the repetition of it all. No. So you are in Seabreeze, of course. You're at, Live Bay, where the bands play, and at the beach, and at the apartments, and stuff like that. Previous settings from the previous books. However, they are introducing the country aspect with Eva's father's farm, and like honky tonks and small town stuff. Other people, new characters. Like, there's a lot that's introduced in this book that makes it so that it is separate from the rest of the series, but it still really meshes well and coherently, which is a big thing with the continuation of the books in the series with the different stories. The simple fact that I did read this book over the span of 2 days, so probably roughly 24 hours. I have a feeling I probably started it at night and then finished it, or just read all night. It's entirely possible. It is definitely the type of book I personally find that once you start it, you really don't want to put it down, which is great for when you're baking out in the sun with SPF on, so that we avoid, the sunburn and the harmful effects of sun rays. The nice thing too is that if you're sitting outside while reading this book, it is told in the alternating Eva and Cage perspective, and you could always time your turnovers so that you're nice and baked evenly all around whenever they change perspective. So, if you're looking for a great summer beach read, look no further than While It Lasts by Abbi Glines. You could potentially read this book out of order, and all of the books out of order within the series, although I really don't recommend doing so because it can get confusing maybe a little, and then you spoil future or past plot lines for yourself. So I highly recommend reading the series in order. Okay, so that's it for me for this review today. Stay tuned tomorrow for the review of Just For Now, which is the 4th book in the series, which features brand new characters as well. Okay, well, technically they are characters we have already been introduced to for both the male and female parts, but just watch tomorrow's video. Okay guys, until next time, happy reading.